What I'm going to talk about is a situation inside a company that I don't work for, but the company that I work for works for. I work for a company called Groves Construction, and it is a electrical company where we do things like power lines and electrical work and substations. I actually work on the substation side. We work for companies that supply power to cities and houses and things like that. So we are a subcontract group because it's cheaper for them to pay us than pay the guys that they have working for them. And part of working for this construction company is our company has safety guys who are OSHA certified, and then they have safety guys who have the say so on their job sites who are also OSHA certified in different levels. There's OSHA 10, OSHA 30, OSHA 40, OSHA 80. I'm actually OSHA 10 certified because you have to be certified on that level to go into certain job sites, like for this company that we work for. I do not want to say the name of the company because I don't want to receive any backlash or make it sound like I'm putting a bad name on them, because I am not talking down on the company whatsoever. But this here is my OSHA 10 card. It says that this is a 10-hour construction safety course. And what it covers is things like safety on a job site, like wear your PPE, like hard hat, glasses, and gloves so you don't get hurt. And there's a lot of other things that go on since we have a lot of moving equipment, and it's a very dangerous job since we work around hot electricity, so we have to wear things like long sleeve shirts that are fire resistant and pants that are fire resistant, because if we get into a hot line, we could potentially burn up, and this could save us to a certain extent if it's not too hot. But we work on things that are up to 140,000 volts, so if something like that touches us, then we are dead. But that's why we have these safety guys to kind of point us in the right way. So they come in on these job sites and they check in, or they'll be there the whole time as we're working, just to make sure that everything that we do is safe. And so when we work for this particular company, their inspectors are there with us the whole time, because what we do is an outage. They give us, say, 24 hours to replace whatever parts of this substation that they want us to do. If they need us to do 3 breakers in 24 hours or 3 days or whatever, then that's what we have. And they're there with us, telling us and making sure that we're not going over any of their boundaries, or maybe just see a different view on something if we don't see a potential hazard, because they have went over all this stuff multiple times and have seen it and have a lot more experience than a lot of us guys out here. So they could particularly save our lives in a certain extent. But what these inspectors do is they kind of look for issues. And if they don't have issues, then they make something, not completely make it up, but to an extent they do. One of the issues that they do is wheel chocks. If a vehicle is on a hill or slanted, then our company actually has a rule. If it's on the hill or slanted, then we have to put a wheel chock on, which is understandable. Even though the vehicle has a parking brake, it could potentially hurt somebody if the parking brake broke or whatever. Well, this company wants you to put one on a vehicle that's on flat surface, even if you're not using the vehicle. It's just something for them to pinpoint. Some crazy disaster might have happened a few years before or something like that, and that's why they have this rule now. Another thing that they could come and pinpoint you for is something like cigarette butts. Yeah, you might say cigarette butts, but you're in a construction company, you have 20 guys out here that are, it's just part of it. Mostly everybody smokes or uses tobacco product of some point. Well, they'll pinpoint, if they don't have any other safety evaluations that they can find, they'll pinpoint something as little as cigarette butts on the job site. So with this example, it's like, okay, how is a cigarette butt unsafe on a job site? Okay, you can't trip over a cigarette butt. It's not like it's hurting anybody there. Now, if they said something about smoking on the job site, it would be different, but not the butt itself on the ground. And so this is more as a thing to make the job site look cleaner. But with this issue, something like this is, like I said, with the outages, if they have this outage and say it's a lot more work than the time that they give us, if it's obviously more than 24 hours worth of work for 20 guys, then they know it, because they can't get the big enough window every time, and that's why they're short on time sometimes. They will actually look past these safety points that they have made and tell you, yes, it's okay if you do this, or tell you to do it in an unsafe manner just to get the job done. This is what the big situation that I want to bring up, because it is a huge no-no, because it's just hypocritical, because if they tell you not to wear your gloves because it'll make things speed up putting the nut or bolt on that much quicker, just a few seconds, because you're doing 100 of them, it might save you 10 minutes of work, but you're working around a line that could potentially kill you. It doesn't make any sense, because that's what they're there for. They're for to keep you safe, not to get the job done. But then when they do this, they're more worried about the work over your safety. Their number one motto is safety over work. But in this, it shows a prime example of how they would rather you do work over safety, because it helps their company. And what it most importantly does is it makes that safety inspector, or that boss that's on that job site, look better on their ego, because it says, yes, I got this done. Nobody thought that I could have done this. This is a very difficult thing. Everybody knew this was a tight window, and this is what we did. This isn't like it's a problem that would shut down this company, no, but yes, it does have lives at risk. And with these three examples, they might not mean anything to you if you do not know the background of construction or things like that. But when somebody's life's on the line, it doesn't really matter what the background is. I mean, some of these guys that I work with have wife and kids, and it'd be horrible if they didn't get to make it home to that. And the sad thing is, there's more accidents than you think. As I've worked for this company for the last 3 years, 5 people have died that I've worked with, and it's still somebody's life. And it should be safety over work, and it shouldn't be work over safety just to make one individual look better.